Okay, so welcome to my shop and chocolate kitchen. So this is where we produce all the chocolates in my company. This is a new YouTube channel and I want to invite you to my kitchen first and let you get to know me a little bit more. So the idea of this channel is to test equipment. I'm gonna show you all the equipment I have in my kitchen and challenge my equipment against new equipment and see if maybe if you find some better equipment that we want to swap. But also I'm gonna do some testing and some playing around with chocolate and do some testing that we maybe normally don't do on a day-to-day basis, but it's gonna educate us and help us get a more understanding about chocolates and what you can do with it. So this is my kitchen behind here and we're gonna go into it and I'm gonna show you all the equipment that I use and give you a little tour of my kitchen to get this channel started. So these are our two tempering machines. This is a twin tank tempering machine from LCM. It's a German company. This is one of the first bigger investments I made in the company. Twin tank, we have two different chocolates in here. It's 25 kilos each. And it's a continuous tempering machine where we can have tempered chocolate pouring out all the time. So you don't have to stop the machine and decrystallize the chocolate, really. We can just make it flow for indefinite time. So a fun story with this machine is that it was actually 15 years old when I bought it secondhand. And now we had it for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years. So it's closing in on 20 years and it's still running. So it's a really, really high quality machine that is just never ending. And it just keeps on going. So I'm very happy with that. We also use a couple of melters. So this is the first machine I ever bought. It's the 6 kilo melter. We use it still for tempering chocolates, but also keeping some ganaches and things at a perfect temperature. We also bought a bigger one. So this is, I don't know if it's like 11 or 12 kilos, something around there. So it's always good to have melters in your kitchen. I'm gonna do some videos with that, and I'm also gonna challenge this brand. We use the mold art melters, but we're gonna challenge this one against other melters in upcoming videos to see if we can find a better one, or maybe if this one is the best one. We'll see. So we had a milk chocolate tempering machine, or a smaller tempering machine here where we had milk chocolate in, but it was on loan and we don't have it anymore. So we have to save up to buy a new one, but that's why we use the melters a little bit more now. Yeah, so as you can see, we are very close to the street, so I built this kitchen to show off what we're doing. So both from the store and from the street, you can see straight in to the best part of the production, or the fun parts where I feel like the public doesn't really get to see anywhere. So it's really a nice display of what we're doing here. Okay, so this is the LCM enrober. This is one of the biggest investments we made, and we made it when we moved into this bigger kitchen. We keep the dark chocolate in here, but my vision and goal is to save up for having two of these, so we can have one with milk and one with dark chocolate. But for now, we're just using the dark chocolate in here. So this is obviously for our enrobed bonbons, but you can do so many things with an enrober. We're gonna go through in detail with this machine as well and talk about it and what I like about it, and if there are things that I feel like could be maybe improved a little bit, I don't know. So that will for sure be one separate video when we go through the machine and talk about that. Since we have our customers, they can see everything we're doing in here. I felt like a nice way to frame the kitchen a little bit and make it both like efficient in the storage, but also nice to look at, is that we have these hangers for our frames. So this is the quadro frames that we use for our enrobed bonbons. We do slabs in these, so you can make nice layers, but we also do big ganaches on our marble top here, so we can make a like a 14-15 kilo ganache in one go, so it's very efficient. But we hang them up here, looks a little bit pretty, but it's also very efficient. So this is the quarter frame from Felchlin. We use them a lot, especially for layered bonbons where we have like 2 or 3 layers. Okay, so underneath here we have our cutter. We use a Pavoni cutter, so the guitar cutter for cutted fruits and rubbed bonbons. So we have a system where we cut to 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, and 3 centimeter. There are other brands out there that we could challenge this one as well with, so maybe we'll do that, and I'll for sure have a little guide on this one and how to work with it a little bit. So I put like everything on, not all the worktops, but a lot of them on wheels, so we can move around in the kitchen. So we can swap the arrangement of all the worktops depending on if we have courses here or if we are doing a job where we want to swap around the tables a little bit. So it's very versatile and you know, very, what do you say, versatile. It's very versatile. It's very versatile. Okay, it's versatile. Vi fortsätter här. Yeah, so Alina here is making our jumbo marshmallows. So they are really big ones, and we dip them in chocolate and then cover them with different applications like hazelnuts and raspberries and coffee and cocoa nibs and whatever we feel like. Our idea was to make like actually flavored marshmallows, but we felt like do that naturally is kind of hard to really get that strong flavor. So we started to cover them instead with different flavors. So it's a really nice concept, and it's on like in the test phase still, but it's selling well in the shop. So it's probably gonna be a product that we are gonna keep on making. All right, so here we have all the chocolates that we are currently using for mainly for different ganaches, of course. The chocolates that we cover or coat our chocolates with are, of course, in the machines. My idea was here we have some in the back, like chocolate that we can refill the boxes with a little bit, but I want to work with as fresh chocolates as possible. So I don't want to have too much in storage, so it sits there for a really long time. I want the chocolate to come in and go out directly, so we use it at a very, very high pace. So I rather make more orders and have less chocolate in the kitchen and have it coming in fresh all the time for us. So we mark them with both for ourselves so we can see what's in the boxes, but also for the customers in the store. They can also see and read about the chocolates and learn that there are different types of chocolate. It's just not dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate. There are different variations with where they're from and different beans and different qualities, of course. Ska vi rulla undan den här? Så får vi plats. Pretty versatile. Okay, so we have, so besides the chocolates, we have the fridges, and I call them like the working fridges. So they are here to support our work, not for storage. So we have 2 different fridges, or the same type of fridges, but 2 different degrees. So this one is around 7 degrees, and we keep one around between like 11, 12, 13, 14 degrees. So different temperatures to accommodate different stages of our production. So this one is slightly colder for crystallizing the kind of like the end product before we kind of like tap out our molded bonbons, and one slightly higher for setting ganaches and things like that. And they're also humidity controlled, which is super important. So whatever we put in here is gonna stay nice and dry. So we are not having condensation inside the fridge, which could ruin the chocolates. So if you have humidity controlled fridges with a nice temperature range, you can actually keep your half-filled molds in here, keep them over the weekend in the fridge, and then come back on Monday, put the final layer, cap them and then tap them out, and they're gonna be beautiful. So these are really helping with the high volume production, because you are not gonna be able to finish off all the projects to the end. So this makes the workflow a little bit more fluid, and you don't have to start and finish everything in a short time frame of a day. So this is really the area where we mold, and we also do a lot of piping. And this is the area where all the kind of like fun stuff is happening. So our customers can directly see very, very close up on what we're doing, but also from the outside they can stand there and watch. And we have a kindergarten across the street, so we usually have a lot of kids standing in the window here, wanted to see what we're doing. So it's pretty cute and fun. We are gonna go over to this one disposer machine here, and I'm gonna show you quickly that one as well. For sure it's gonna be a full video on one of these and how to use them. But this is a disposer machine, so we can fill a lot of shells or truffle balls very, very quickly to speed up our production. And it also helps us to fill the truffle balls to perfection, so everyone is exactly the same in how much filling we have inside, because that will translate into the finished product, how it looks, and you're gonna have a very consistent results with it. So this is one of the latest investments that we made. We haven't had too much time to use it, but we started just a couple of weeks back and getting familiar with it and using it for our truffle balls mainly, but it's going to be used for all our molded shells as well. Yeah, so it's a high quality one. Again, I rather wait a little bit more to have to be able to afford a more expensive and more high quality machine than to just buy whatever you can buy on the cheaper end of the range, or like cheaper machines. So I always go for quality. It makes the work more fun, and I get inspired also of having the best stuff around me. So that's my take on it, and it takes a little bit longer to build a kitchen like that. But when you fast forward a couple of years, you're gonna have a complete machinery with the best stuff that's out there, and that is just gonna make the company and the backbone of the company stronger. So this is the area where we usually scale our ganaches and you scale our things for the ganaches and blend things. So this is our warm area. We have a small oven for roasting nuts and things like that. So we don't use an oven too much, so we went for a smaller but functional oven. The blender is for making the marshmallows. Then we have the control freak here, where we cook our caramels and warm our creams and everything like that. We have prepared the kitchen to put in a vacuum blender, so a Stefan mixer, where we can make up to maybe like 20 kilos of ganache in one go and don't have to hand blend it, because it takes a lot of strain on your shoulders and arms and everything to blend huge ganaches. So we're saving up for a Stefan mixer or something like the Stefan mixer, where you have bigger mass, where you can make like up to 20 kilos without having to use your arms. Pots and pans and bowls under here, and our mixers. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that I'm using the Robocock mixers. We have 3 different sizes, but we usually use the Micromix and the bigger one most. And for sure, I'm going to have videos on mixers and comparing different brands and see what they're up to, and see if you can find anything better, or if this one actually is the best one. From my research so far in the industry of being a chef, which I was in the beginning, is that this one is really the best one for chocolate making, and you also find a wide range of different sizes, so you can really pick and choose the size that suits your size of operations. So this is our magic temper where we keep the cocoa butter silk. So we keep it on this bench top here because here is usually where we produce all our ganaches. So we temper all our, not all our fillings, but almost all our fillings. So that's why we keep the big magic temper, which is the 3 kilo version. We need a 3 kilo version. I would advise anyone to buy a big one right off the bat, because there's not a big of a price difference between the slightly smaller one and the biggest one. But we use the 3 kilo and we temper our ganaches and fillings with it. So it's really a big help in the kitchen to have one. Is there coming videos on silk machines? For sure, and I'm gonna compare different brands as well. That's my goal. So we can have a look on what machines are best suited for an operation like mine, or maybe an operation that is a little bit smaller maybe. If there's other machines that could fit your operation or a smaller kitchen a little bit better. So this is the kind of in the same area as the packaging area, but kind of like a separate part of it. So here is the washing area. So here is where we clean things, really. It's not much to say about that, is it? So this is the where we get all the deliveries. And I had an issue when I was drawing this kitchen, because I was able to and had the fortune to actually draw the kitchen from scratch with our architect. So this kitchen was completely wiped out. There was nothing here, completely new building, and we were able to draw a chocolate kitchen from scratch and use the space in the best way possible. And I wanted an area for taking nice pictures, and I couldn't really fit that in. But my colleague came up with a nice little idea to at least have our photo booth where we take product pictures, to have this in this little corner that was not really used for anything. So here's where we put the lights on and take our nice little product pictures. At least, so we have a cool little area for that, and it is working really nice, and I don't have to put everything up and pack it down, which I had to do in my old kitchen and small kitchen. So here everything is just there. I can turn the lights on and get going in a matter of 5-10 minutes, and just set the lights and get going. So it's really a nice little feature and a little corner here where we can do that. Moving on into the kind of the back of the kitchen, where all the stuff that is not really interesting to see for the customers. They want to see the nice stuff, the interesting stuff. This is kind of the back of the kitchen. So here we keep all the molds. If you've been following me, you know that we don't clean and polish that much. We do sometimes to kind of reset our molds a little bit, but between batches we just create a batch and then flip it out, and then we just start paint again. So some molds have been used, some are cleaned and polished. So here we have all the dry stores. We have some glucose, we have some nuts, we have some spices, we have some liqueurs, we have some spirits, you know, just all the kind of like dry stores is in the back here. So here we have 3 different, 2 fridges and 1 freezer. So we have 1 fridge for kind of like butter and cream, basically almost solely for that. The second one is the one where we are keeping chocolates from defrosting from the freezer, which is in the back here, or chocolates that have been newly produced. We cool them down in here before they go into the freezer. Next one here is the freezer, and here we keep purees and almost like solely fruit purees for our gels and fruit candies. So one thing that is essential for a medium size or larger size of chocolate company or production or business is to have a freezer. So since I was able to draw this kitchen from scratch and place things exactly how I wanted it, I wanted to have a big freezing room, like a walk-in freezer, where we could store a lot of bonbons for enabling us to build up before Christmas, Easter, and bigger deliveries and bigger customers. So we can literally have thousands of bonbons back here in storage. So we can quickly push out a lot of bonbons if we have a big order coming in. That makes us very agile, and we can push out a lot of chocolates and build a big storage before Christmas. Welcome in. This is where we keep our chocolates, so we keep them in different flavors. Then we also have some fillings that we keep frozen, so we can cook a caramel and we can put it in here and reuse a little bit, so we don't throw leftovers out. We keep them in here. And there's the compressor. So we create syrups and things in season, and then we can have them in the freezer here and bring them out for whenever we need it. So this is really a key for a big chocolate business, is to have freeze storage. It's essential. It's really essential. So this is the holy grail. No, but this is the room where I was very happy to be able to draw into my kitchen and have a place to spray and paint and keep it completely separate from everything else in the kitchen. So this is our spray room where we only do one thing: we spray and paint in here. And there are a couple of things that I wanted in this room. And first off, enough workspace. You can never have too much workspace available, but a nice spray cabinet in here where we can just go for it and spray tons and tons of molds. And we have some space on the side here to have trolleys. We don't need it right now, but we have some trolleys here with a lot of molds, so they can sit here sprayed and ready to roll into the kitchen for casting shells and things like that. And an interesting thing here is that our fan system, it's got some UV light, so it actually burns the particles. So when we spray it and it gets sucked up into the system, it actually burns the particles to create like dust, burnt dust. So we don't clog the system with colored cocoa butter, because that's going to be a huge issue down the line a couple of years from now, but also for the hazard of fire. So if that would caught fire up in the system, it's going to be a big problem. So here we have a little heat cabinet. We're starting to grow out of it. It's a little bit too small for us now. So I'm aiming to have a big warmer cabinet here for colors and spray guns. But for now, we have everything in here. It keeps around 40 degrees Celsius. So we keep our guns ready, warm for use. And the colors are ready to be tempered and sprayed. So we have a big spray gun, the HVLP from Fuji, 75G, something like that. And also the Grex airbrush. But the idea of this channel is to test equipment, of course, and definitely different types of airbrushes and spray guns. So that's going to be really interesting. So down the line, we're going to have a lot of different airbrushes and spray guns that we have tested, and we can put them head to head to each other, against each other, and see what's best suited. So that's going to be really interesting and educational for us to explore different brands and models. Yeah, so there's a little bit of like R&D before Easter right now. So we are starting to paint some egg molds. Underneath here we have all our colors. As you can see, we kind of like mix different brands. So we both use for example, Pavoni powder, where we blend into cocoa butter. But we also have pre-mixed bottles, and we have from Pavoni, we have from PCB, we have from Chef Rubber. So we mix and match different brands, different colors to get what we want. And these are our own mixed colors for different bonbons. So the question is like, what brands do we use? We use all the brands we can put our hands on, and we just find the best colors from different brands. And you can definitely mix and match, no problem. So in the corner we have a microwave. We use it a lot. So we have two. We have one in the production room, but also one in the spray room. Absolutely essential in a chocolate kitchen. Like you kind of like have to have it. It's really speeding things up and helping you to decrystallize chocolates, and you know, it just helps to have one. Promise you. We have the small magic temper, the Alpha. You saw the big one in the kitchen, the 3 kilo version. But this is the smaller version. It's kind of like almost empty now. We keep it in here because you can temper your colors by hand for sure and create really nice results. But we want to speed things up and make everything very consistent. So we have a magic temper in here. So we temper our cocoa butter colors with the silk as well. And here, for us, a small little magic temper Alpha is enough for us. But for sure, I'm going to go through and talk about this in upcoming videos, but also compare it to other brands on the market and see which one suits for different types of companies or operations. And if you're a small producer and high producer, what kind of like suits the best, and also put them to the test a little bit and see which I find is the best one. And here's the little collection of brushes and things like that for our coloring of our bonbons. So as you can see here, we have a little thermometer. They are spread around in the kitchen a little bit everywhere. So we can have a look at the humidity, but also the temperature in the kitchen. So we know that everything is fine. 1 degree up and down will affect our work. So knowing the temperature of the room and the humidity is gonna make us informed before we start working at that moment what the status of the environment is, because that is going to affect your workflow a lot. One really neat thing with this kitchen is that since I built it from scratch, we were able to implement things in the kitchen to make it suitable for chocolate making. So we have AC air conditioning built into all of the rooms, so we can have different temperatures in different rooms. So we have one in here, one in the packaging area, and actually 4 in the production area. So we can dial in the temperature perfectly for what we're working with, or if it's warmer outside, we can bring the temperature down a little bit. But the like base temperature in the whole kitchen is dialed in from the start. So the whole like system in here aims to have the temperature around 19 to 20 degrees, no matter what temperature it's outside. So when we do nothing to the temperature, we are gonna be around there. But sometimes we want it a little bit higher, sometimes we want it a little bit lower, or when we do classes in here, we're gonna be like 10, 12 people in here, and that's gonna bring up the temperature. So then I have to put the air condition on to really help to bring down the temperature while we're working in class. So outside here, we have the packaging area. So we were in the production room before. So this is the packaging area where we do all the shipping and packing for shipping, both in Sweden, but we also ship around Europe now with our chocolates. So here we have the boxes and all the different printers and the computer for checking the orders and keeping everything nice and organized and completely separate from the production. And here we have the dressing room. It's not too much to show, but it's here. And here is my office. It was a really big thing for me to have my own office and be able to build it. And there's a couple of features in here that I want to show. It's the windows that is going through, so we can have a nice overview and we can see each other from different rooms, and it makes the space a little bit more open, and we get a ton of daylight in, which is really, really nice. Yeah, so this is my setup with the computers. I have a nice Mac and a screen, and I also keep some of my lights and my cameras in here. I'm also going to make this a little bit more pretty because we're gonna do some coaching calls in my subscription service where I do coaching calls. So I want to have a little nice backdrop here, but it's something I want to do, but it's just, you know, I never get time to do it. So it's still blank white walls here, but I can set up my camera here, have the lights here, and make it a pretty nice place to sit and have a chat with you and my clients. So this is the staff area where we have our lunches and coffee breaks. Here in this area I try to have a photo studio, but we could just not fit it in. So this area serves as our staff area, but it's also have some nice daylight coming in here to make some really nice photos as well. So this is kind of like the second photo studio for some nice pictures and videos as well. But it's a really nice and nice area to sit down and have a meal with the team. So we have our coffee machines and all of that here, and also if you're on a break, someone's working there, we can still communicate. If I want them to come here, I can wait them in here. So it's really nice with the nice big windows in the kitchen here. So thank you for coming by, and I hope you enjoyed the tour of my kitchen. This was just a little brief overview of my kitchen. We will get into all the equipment that I use a little bit more in detail in this channel, but I will also do some experimentation, testing, and also explore equipment and do some equipment reviews to help you to make better decisions on what to buy for your kitchen, and maybe get some inspiration on how our kitchen is looking like and what we have in our kitchen, and maybe that can help to inspire you when you are creating your business and building your chocolate brand. So I'm very happy that you came over here, and I hope to see you in future videos. Now, making bonbons can be very tricky and frustrating. Trust me, I know all about it. Especially if you want to launch your own small business. I built my own company from scratch from my home kitchen, so I know all about your struggle. My courses are essentially filling the gaps of knowledge that I was missing when I was starting out, and chances are that you're facing the same issues as I had in the beginning. I can help you open up your creativity, since creativity is going to need a solid foundation of knowledge and also secure methods. You find the links to all my courses in the description below.